All right. Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. We have made it. We have made it. We have made it to Thursday. Now we just got to get through tomorrow. But first, we got to talk about the weather first for tonight. And honestly, it's probably going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit interesting, especially with some severe weather here. And we even have some disagreement as well within the National Weather Service of Charleston and the Storm Prediction Center as well. For what I've seen, at least something that the National Weather Service of Charleston has said that says that they're not quite sure that they know why the Storm Prediction Center has put out the outlook that they did put out. So we'll talk about that and when we get to the severe weather portion. But first, let's go on and say first off that if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button, make sure you go and do so. Also, make sure you go and hit the share button as well. Trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're at 433. Trying to get to 450. That's the short term. The long term, 500. We've been at 433 for the past couple of days. Let's go on and get to 500. Now let's go on and talk with the recorded audience for the people who could unfortunately not be here tonight. Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully everyone has had a fantastic Thursday so far. I'm your meteorologist, Jess Peterson, and let's go and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar, we do have some rain going on through Greenville, Anderson, Lawrence, as well as Gaffney, Union, Florence, as well as Dillon as well. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And if you go over here to the winter weather radar, you can see that we do have some rain going on in Illinois, Indiana, as well as Kentucky, Missouri, as well as North Carolina, Virginia, as well as some rain going on in New York, Pennsylvania, as well as Massachusetts, as well as Connecticut. We also do have some rain going on up here in the Pacific Northwest in Washington as well. As you go on now to our cloud cover right now, here it is right here. As you can see that we do have some cloud cover up there in the upstate of South Carolina, as well as some cloud cover starting to develop in the PD region, the low country, and even the Midlands as well. But right now, most of that cloud cover is up there towards the upstate of South Carolina. And if we go in and push through tonight as well into tomorrow, you see as the night progresses, that cloud cover will continue to push near the coast, but some more cloud cover behind it will start to form inside the upstate of South Carolina. And as we continue all the way to around 10 to 11 hours out, you can see that pretty much the entire state will be covered with cloud cover as we go into tomorrow morning. But as we get into tomorrow afternoon, looking like that cloud cover could lessen up, but still, cloud cover is looking a bit sufficient. Going to our current temperatures right now: 66 inside of Columbia, 64 in Eastover, as well as Sumter, Manning, and Holly Hill, even 64 in Moncks Corner and Somerville, 62 in Allendale, as well as 62 in Georgetown, 61 in Conway, as well as 60 inside of Myrtle Beach. We even have 57 in Lancaster, 57 in Chester, as well as 59 in Woodruff, 61 in Donalds and Anderson, even 61 inside of Iva, 62 in McCormick, as well as 66 in Edgefield, as well as 66 in Aiken. We even have 66 down there towards Allendale as well. And then the upstate, 59 in Greenville, 57 in Spartanburg, as well as 55 in Gaffney, York, and Rock Hill. Low temperatures for tonight will actually be around 50 in Greenville, 49 inside of Spartanburg, as well as 50 inside of Anderson, 49 in Greenwood, as well as Rock Hill, 54 in Columbia, as well as 53 in Aiken, 54 in Barnwell, as well as 55 in Orangeburg, 55 in Walterboro, 56 in Moncks Corner, as well as Georgetown, and 61 inside of Charleston. Going into your rainfall from 8 o'clock p.m. tonight all the way through 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night, see that pretty much the entire state is at least going to see a drop. At least that's what is forecasted from the National Weather Service. You see around 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch possible. Walterboro, Hilton Head Island as well, 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch also possible instead of Aiken, Barnwell, Orangeburg, Moncks Corner, Georgetown, as well as King Street in Charleston. Maybe even a quarter of an inch to a half an inch possible inside of Sumter, Myrtle Beach, Florence, as well as even Winsboro, Rock Hill, even Greenville as well. Another 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch is possible inside of Anderson, Spartanburg, as well as Columbia, as well as maybe even some other regions as well. But mainly that hundredth of an inch to a half an inch is what we're looking at now. Now, talking about severe weather, let's talk about tonight first. We still do have that marginal risk of severe weather that goes for Spartanburg, Greenville, Rock Hill, as well as Columbia and Aiken as well. And then the yellow, the slight risk of severe weather is there. That is for, again, tonight. You can see that we do have the yellow, green. The yellow means that we do have a 15% chance of receiving, some slight damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. Same thing with hail. Hail of up to an inch, scattered hail up to an inch is possible in some of those regions with some storms. And if you're in the green, that is a 5% chance for some wind, 5% chance for some hail, a 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts and some small hail with maybe some isolated 1 inch in diameter hail is possible. No tornado threat. Now, this is where the controversy comes in. As you go into tomorrow, Friday, April the 11th, 2025, through Florence, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, and Hilton Head Island. We're not here at the beginning. I did say that there was some controversy going on between the National Weather Service at Charleston and the Storm Prediction Center as well. And pretty much what they said is saying that pretty much they note that the SPC continues to have our Charleston Tri-County region and the rest of the immediate coastline under a marginal risk of severe weather. Cape values struggle to get to even a few hundred joules per kilogram, and this is backed up by model soundings. Even a lot of experimental data has very little, if any, severe weather probabilities. Therefore, this risk continues to seem overdone by the Storm Prediction Center. High temperatures should only peak in the 70s tomorrow, and instead the late evening and overnight will be dry as high pressure builds in from the west as well. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So National Weather Service at Charleston does not think that anything is going to really happen at all throughout the coastal region and throughout the Tri-County region, Dorchester, Berkeley, and Charleston County, while the SPC still has the marginal risk in effect for the good amount of the region here as well. So calling it overdone, saying that they should not have issued this at all. But we still respect all of the National Weather Service offices, Storm Prediction Center outlooks, and all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to get into that anymore. But that's just interesting to see, in my opinion. That's a bit interesting to see that there is still, that it's not all in agreement for when it comes to weather. But that's just how uncertain tomorrow is. That's why we have that marginal risk there. In my opinion, if I was to guess why they have it there, is because they're just uncertain as of what's going to happen. They think that there is something there, but they're not quite sure when exactly it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, how is it going to unfold, what's going to be the main threat. I don't think they have that under control just yet, and we could definitely see a weakening. We can definitely see a weakening in this, and just them completely getting rid of the marginal risk in general as you go into tomorrow. But we'll see. We will see tomorrow morning what happens. But this right here would be mainly a severe wind and a hail threat, mainly being a wind threat, 40 to 60 mile per hour winds, and then obviously some small hail to maybe some isolated large inch in diameter hail is possible. And then as you continue, Saturday is looking like no severe weather, anything like that. Going into excessive rainfall. I'm going to day one, nothing for day one, nothing for day two. Nothing for day two, nothing for day 3, 4, or 5. So we're good in terms of excessive rainfall. So now let's go and talk about our short-term future, then we'll talk about the long-term future. But right now, as we go over here to the HRRR, start at the 18Z, starting off at 9 o'clock p.m. obviously tonight. You see that there is that shower and thunderstorm activity that was supposed to be kicking off. Again, this is what it was supposed to be looking like, and this is currently what it looks like. So a bit different, but again, models aren't going to get it 100% of the time, and this was updated at 3 p.m. So things were obviously going to change. They were not obviously all going to be the same, but as you continue through, this is what they're looking at for 12 o'clock in the morning, going through Lancaster, Winsboro, Columbia, as well as Edgefield and McCormick as well. And as you continue all the way through Florence, as well, going into around 2 a.m. Orangeburg at around 2 a.m. as well. And then it will be pushing through the low country by around 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, as well as the PD region as well, bringing some heavy rainfall potentially waking some of y'all up as well, even as you go into tonight. Thunder may be possible again. Obviously, some don't think that thunder is possible, and even they don't even think some thunder is possible at all. But as you continue all the way through to around 9 to 10 a.m., showers continue going on, and as you go all the way to around 3 p.m., all the way to 4 p.m. as well, there is still some more shower and thunderstorm activity going on. Also through around 6 p.m., going into around 8 p.m. as well, going into April the 11th, which obviously tomorrow. And this is just what they're looking at, just isolated shower downpour activity as well. And you can even look at Cape as well. We can go in and check that out as well and see. But you can see that there is a good amount. There is a good amount. But it's really when. And you can see the storm's probably getting around 6 p.m. And you can see that there's not really much. There's not really much at all. So, we do have some isolated areas, obviously, but none of these are really conducive enough to just spawn some like heavy damaging winds or heavy hail or anything like that. So we'll continue to push this forward even more. You can see that we dry off a lot going into Saturday, though. But tomorrow is going to be just that scattered thunderstorm, showery type of day with maybe a strong storm or two. But now let's go into our long-term future. This is obviously our future as we go into the next 300 to 400 hours. As you push this forward, you can see that the cold air, with the cold front passing through tomorrow, there will be a cold front. Yes, that does pass through tonight into tomorrow. So that's what we're looking for there. And as you get into even around April the 15th as well, maybe another cold front trying to pass through going into around April the 18th as well. And then as you continue through even more, you're just not really seeing much at all. And just in terms of rainfall, you can go in and look at the total accumulated precipitation. Most of this rainfall right here is actually going to be from around April the 11th, obviously tomorrow, and then April the 15th as well. After that, for about a good another 10 days, we're not going to see much rain after that. So we'll see how that affects the drought. And speaking of the drought, here's the latest drought monitor right here, and barely anything has changed. We did have one major change, and that is portions up here near Anderson County, Oconee County, Greenville, and Western Spartanburg that is no longer inside the D0 anymore, or D0 anymore. Abnormally dry. They're now at regular conditions, but still have a lot of areas that need work. Most of the low country, most of the PD region as well, and especially the coastal Horry, Georgetown, and northeastern Charleston County as well. That definitely needs that rain as they're under a D2 severe drought. So definitely need some rain over there fast. And unfortunately, looking at the model, going through the next 300, 400 hours or so, keep a look. You see up there in the upstate of South Carolina, probably the area that does not need the majority of the rain right now. Definitely the coast needs the most of it. You can see that most of the rain is going to fall inside the upstate, which is the area that is starting to get a little bit of relief from the drought up there. Well, the coastal PD region and coastal northern coastal low country is still receiving that drought. So not quite what you want to see, but hopefully this will change up and we'll get some more rain after that. Now let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Miss Tolliver says, beautiful day at my house. I had a couple of ducks visit my house. Mr. and Miss Mallard were their names. I am enjoying the temperatures outside. I hope they stick around a while. Hopefully they do as well. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. And then my cousin Trail says, oops, did not mean to change that. I just have another lovely day here. That's fantastic to hear. And then my cousin Cheryl does say that, good evening, weatherman. First of all, please accept my apology. I'm sorry I've not gotten back to you. To thank you all. I love you all to the moon and back. Be blessed on purpose. Love you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for the message as well. And apology obviously is accepted. Obviously you don't really even need to apologize. We understand we all got stuff we have to do. We all get busy from time to time, and we obviously are not going to make it here every single night. So you just got to do what you got to do. You got to get stuff done because world does not stop spinning. You just got to keep it. You just got to keep pushing for whatever you have to do with that, whatever it be with work or anything like that. So I'm not going to blame anybody at all that does not show up a night, that's obviously not what I'm going to do. Now let's go on now and talk about the crazy score again. You can still leave a comment if you still want to. We're going to be here probably for about like another 5 minutes. We're going to wrap up with San Antonio, Raleigh. We're going to have a little wildfire update as well. And then we're going to talk about what's going on throughout the entire United States. And we'll be back, see if anybody else left anything as well. But talking about the crazy score first. It's at a 36 right now for tonight, reasonably so. Noticeable weather conditions such as moderate rain, wind, or minor storms. Not going live tonight, but I mean, it's pretty much exactly what you expect in that moderate category. Not really strong, but inside that moderate category. And then as you go into San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia, talking about San Antonio first, low temperatures tonight 62, high temperatures tomorrow at 89, low temperatures tomorrow night at 60, with no precipitation expected at all for tonight as well, going into tomorrow as well for San Antonio. Probably for like the next 7 days, you're probably not going to really see any rain. As you go into Raleigh, low temperatures tonight 51, high temperatures tomorrow at 65, low temperatures tomorrow night at 48. Showers are expected tonight, same thing tomorrow. Showers are likely, and then it will lower to around a 30% chance to just a chance of showers tomorrow night. And then as you go into Philadelphia, low temperatures tonight 43, high temperatures tomorrow at 49, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 41. So you're going to be in the 40 range from now, probably going into tomorrow night. So going to be in that range for a while. Rain is expected tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night as well. So rain is expected all through that time. Does not mean it's going to be raining constantly, but it just means that you definitely will need that umbrella with you. And so that's it. They're talking about severe weather. Raleigh does have a minor risk of flooding as you go into day 2, which is tomorrow, obviously. That's a minor risk of flooding as you go into Friday. So definitely watch out. Flooded roadways, flooded ponds, streams, creeks, anything like that. And so now that is that. Let's have our wildfire update. Because we still do have a wildfire going on. We have the one obviously going on inside of Carolina Forest right now, which is obviously still 90% contained. Has not been updated in 5 days now. So we'll see what's going on there later. Going on here towards Darlington, there's a little 2-acre fire going on in Darlington, but it's 100% contained. Nothing really going on there. And then going on over here inside of Beaufort, 0 acres, 0% contained. Pretty much, they're probably not going to update this because it's not even an acre. And they're just saying that a little fire is over there, and they're probably taking care of it now, or it's already taken care of. And so the last thing we got to talk about is what's going on throughout the entire United States. A storm system will pivot across the Carolinas, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast U.S. in a Saturday with areas of heavy rainfall. Wintry precipitation is possible in parts of the interior New England region. Dry conditions and gusty winds will bring critical fire weather Friday over portions of the northern high plains, then shifting over the desert southwest with adjacent high plains Saturday and Sunday. We also do have some severe weather that is going on right now through northern Alabama as well as northern Georgia as well. Go through Birmingham, Alabama, Columbus, Tupelo, Memphis, Tennessee is also included in there, as well as Winchester, Tennessee, and also inside of Georgia, and even parts of Oconee County inside of South Carolina is under a severe thunderstorm watch as well. And if I'm not mistaken, there was some severe thunderstorm warnings that was actually just issued. I'm not quite sure if that was for South Carolina or not, because I don't have my alerts turned off. No, we do, but we do have a lot. We do have a lot of special weather statements going on right now through Greenwood, McCormick going up there into Clinton as well, and then up here in Spartanburg as well. Gusts of up to 40 miles an hour going on. This is for, again, tonight, as that's going to push down towards the coast. It's going to go out by around 4 a.m. But then continuing through, going all the way through Atlanta as well, as we do have some more severe weather going on down there. And other than that, that's all that I think we have for tonight. So if you have not hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button as well. Make sure you go and do so. I don't see anything else inside the chat, so I believe that is all for tonight. I will be here for about another 5 minutes or so to see if we have any other chats or anything like that I may miss. And make sure that you go on and do all those things. Again, hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. That is quicker than putting putting like some frozen waffles or some frozen pancakes or something like that inside the microwave for a minute and 15 seconds or something like that. It's quicker than a breakfast sandwich. It's quicker than, you trying to get your coffee in the morning, or just, or trying to make tea or anything like that. It's quicker than all of that. So make sure that you go on and do so. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Friday morning forecast update, and we only have one more day to go.